What's up, YouTube? Just got the update, the .19.06 on my Standard Plus. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So immediately when you get in the vehicle, you notice the difference. All of the fonts, which are now Rivian exclusive fonts, except for the P and parking, because that's regulated. The map now on the left side of the center display has actually gotten worse. I like it the old way, where it's more integrated rather than hovering in a window. But beggars can't be choosers. The fact that they gave us this new update so quickly is pretty great. So then when you scroll through, still have the tire pressure indicators. That looks pretty much the same as it always has, except for a change in the font. You notice the icons down here are slightly different than before. I wish I'd gotten some before video on what those looked like. And then the other item is the last 15 minutes of efficiency. Still, when you scroll the wheel, you get the volume. Again, the big change being the fonts, as well as the giant vehicle in the middle, which, as you can see, if you open the door, it will open the door on the display as well. It is nighttime, so let's see how the blind spot monitoring looks. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse. And now you can see, so not great because of the video quality, but not horrible. But at night you can still see that it is showing you your blind spot, but you're not going to see too much more. Same with the camera on this side. So again, not perfect because it's not the highest of quality, plus it's nighttime. But if you were driving and there was a car in either one of these blind spots, and assuming they had their headlights on, you would still be able to see that they're there. So on the indicator, let's turn that blinker off. You can see we're currently in hold, but if you were to reverse, that will not now start to change to the miles per hour. Back to hold. Coming over to the main center screen, you can see the temperatures now are in these little pill icons. Prior to the update, the passenger side temperature control actually wasn't on the screen unless there was a body in the seat. Same thing with the heat and cold seats. So now, as you see, when you hit this, you get this pop-up for choosing hot or cold. The passenger now has the passenger controls on their side to make the necessary adjustments to temperature. They can sync it, they can set it to auto, they can adjust the fan speed as well. You open up the temperature control on the driver's side for the first time, it identifies that you have these save points for saving your preset. So if you change this to be blowing more towards my face, I can do that. Off to the side here, you've got quick access to the heated mirrors, the heated steering wheel, and pet mode is right there in that first pop out within the climate. One of the other items you'll see that's different from the previous generation, or not the previous generation, but the previous software, is that this is more within that cell texture design. So the interior of the car is designed slightly different than it was before, but you still have your front, middle, and rear air controls. So that's for the vents, that's for the floor, and your fronts. Again, this is an R1S, that's why I have the 3 rows. One thing the previous update, or the previous software, did not have was actually the ability to turn on your heated mirrors this way. So that's a great feature to have right there if you need to defrost your windshield, your side view mirrors. You can tap the windshield, you can tap the underneath, depending on where you want your flow of air. Adjust the temperature as you did before. You've got your defroster button here now, and you've got your defrosted mirrors here as well. That also turns on the rear defogger. Turning on the defroster turns on the heat, so let's get that back to cold, but turn that fan all the way down. As you go into some of the other menus, like the audio section, you'll see nothing has changed as far as controls here, but again, it is with that updated font. Graphics on the side are slightly different than they were before. If you go into the cameras, you still have your front camera and your 360, your rear camera with your 360, or you could still do it this way where you've got the rear camera and your blind spots. So if you were kind of backing into a tight spot, you've got the ability to see where you're backing into. Or even if you're pulling forward, say you're pulling up to a supercharger station and you know you need to get super close in order for it to the plug to be able to reach, you've got the ability to look right here on your sides as well as directly out the front of the vehicle. Now, the thing that everybody's most excited about is obviously the new layout for drive mode. So we're in night mode because it's nighttime. So I'm currently in all-purpose. You see the moon back there. You see that wind turbine in the back is actually spinning. You can pull this and get the movement of the screen. The vehicle on the screen is still a proper representation of your actual vehicle. So I'm forest green with the 22-inch rims. I've got the Gen 1, so I don't have the different light bar on the front. Very cool that they pay that close attention to detail. Same with the one on the front screen here. It is representative of my actual vehicle color. So now, being in all-purpose mode, you can see that there is a height adjustment. Because I'm currently in park, I was set to kneel, but now I have changed it to standard. I don't use auto. Personally, that's just not for me. Because, again, this is a standard plus Generation 1 dual motor with the performance pack. I've got a couple extra modes here. So I've got my sport mode, where it asks you if you want to lower the position, and it puts the car on the racetrack. I've got snow mode, which, living in New England, we will get use from. Got the all-terrain mode. Looking rugged in the mountains. We've got our soft sand mode. Kicking up dust. We'll go ahead and go right back to all-purpose here. On the all-purpose screen, if you slide to the side, not that much, slide to the side, you see that the graphic on how that slides in is different than it was before the page actually moved to this page. But now that page kind of comes in on top of the other graphic. Some of the details in the vehicle here are slightly different than they were before, but you still have all of your necessary information off to the side there. Your trip meters, your tire pressure gauge, motor temperature, battery temperature, all the typical stuff that you would get with all-purpose mode. If you switch that to sport mode, you see we're in sport mode, you still get that same layout. Snow mode, also the same. It really changes once you go off-road, because now it gives you your camber, your pitch, and your roll, as well as the graphics on your tires pressure are different, and you've got your motor temperature only and not your battery temperature. There is no way to customize these if you wanted to change them. Going over to soft sand, again, very similar to off-road, all-purpose being the primary drive mode. So the other update was before you just had information on your current system. So now you've got that remaining as well, but now you've got the ability to auto update, which I have now turned on so that the car can not wait for me to say yes via the app or the screen, and if an update comes in, it'll automatically update at 3 a.m. and I've got that scheduled for no matter where I am, it's allowed to do it. So that pretty much is it. So if we look through the notes here, you can see we've got the refined graphics, we've got the live camera with the blind spot action. One of the things that I'm most interested in, and I'll go for a ride right now, is to see if you're not going to be able to feel it, but feel if there's actually any noticeable change in the ride quality. I know one of the big takeaways from the launch of the Gen 2 R1S in particular is the improvements they made to the ride quality. I personally like the ride quality of my Gen 1. Never really thought much about it, but I know many of the YouTube personalities have pointed out that the ride quality wasn't great, and the Gen 2s have really improved upon the ride quality. So not saying that this will take us all the way there, because there was some hardware changes that were made there, but I'm very interested to see what this fine-tuned damping is for the drive modes, and how that changes how anything feels. The retuned ride feel option to offer a broader range of body control. We'll see again how that feels by actually going for a drive. Improved software sensing and added automatic adjustment for damping control for varying load conditions, such as carrying additional passengers. So if you've got a full car, it's taking that additional weight into consideration. Again, real cool. That's crazy that this much can change with a vehicle over the air. The automatic updates, like I said, the improved search by Google, who cares? The search was fine. One thing that, and maybe this is a precursor, it'd be nice if the maps were actually Google Maps, and that was slightly better, but that's really besides the point. So that's really the change. So a lot of vehicles will have 2024.19.04. Because I'm a standard range pack, they experienced some issues with the first rollout of this software, which I didn't get, which was the .04, and the .06 is the upgraded version. And what the .06 has done is specific to the standard pack, where there was some kind of issue with regen, preventing high regen. So if you look in this drive mode setting, I'm in all purpose, the regen setting, low, high, standard. There was no high. I guess there was no high with the .04. I'm going to take it for a drive. If you go into the gear guard setting and go into settings, where you've got this, again, mostly just font updates, but now he's holding a little bit more equipment, and if you tap him, he just waves at you. What's up, Gary? As far as anything that changed with the actual display, your passenger side airbag off notification used to be down here in this lower section. It's now present there, so everything's slightly shifted over a little bit, where the time used to be closer to the corner. For those curious, the update didn't change anything in the back screen, except for the fonts. Everything else remains the same. Power outlets, hotspot, Bluetooth, lock and unlock doors, Bluetooth controls, heated and cooled seats, or heated seats. The Gen 2 actually has cooled seats in the rear, but you don't get that with this. Additionally, now the display reads your ride height. Before, it showed the icon for the drive mode you were in and just the measurement bars for ride height. Now it actually displays the words for the ride height that you're in, with the drive mode that you're in now present in the speedometer area. So with that display area, the speedometer area, you can see that bar off to the side. As I put energy out and start to take energy back in. Energy out, energy in. So as I'm here, about to take the turn, you can see what that blind spot monitor looks like in the evening. So overall, not bad. I'm sure it's at least 85% placebo, but just this initial drive, it does feel slightly better. Again, I enjoyed the ride of the pre-update suspension, so I may not be the best judge of the changes that have been made here. I I'm in soft suspension, which is what I've typically just been running. It feels good. Could definitely feel less body roll around some of these corners, which again is amazing that that's something that can be done via over-the-air software. Very impressed with the ability to do that. It does come into question some of the efficacy of changing how a vehicle drives and really the look and feel of a vehicle via over-the-air updates. That's not anything we ever really had to think about with vehicles before, that a manufacturer could ultimately change styles. But I'm all for it. Just put regen into low. Definitely less aggressive. Regen now at high. Really pulling me to a stop there. Oh, you almost can't do a 30 launch. You're gonna go over real quick. That was in sport mode. That was absolutely insane for a vehicle of this size. And again, this is only a dual motor. So those are the big changes with 2024.19.06 for the dual standard. You can see again, performance, dual, standard, plus, adventure pack, long name, but that's the vehicle in which I have. If you guys have any questions, comment below. Anything you'd like to see. Again, great job, Rivian.